Hello YouTube and welcome to another Movie Zone review. This time I'm talking about Back to the Future Part 2 in honor of Back to the Future Day here. Today is the day Marty McFly went back in time, October 23rd, 2015. He's here and it's actually real. So let's give you a little backdrop about the first movie if you've never seen it. Back to the Future 1, 2, and 3 was all directed by Robert Zemeckis. Stars Christopher Lloyd and, of course, Michael J. Fox as Marty McFly. Now, this movie came out in the 80s, I think 1883. And it was basically a sci-fi movie, comedy. It was awesome. It's an adventure movie. This movie's great. For a couple of reasons. One, it's funny, you know? And then it has these, now if you look at it, it's kind of a little outdated, but it's still a pretty funny movie. The lines are memorable. I mean, you can quote that movie every which way. Anybody can quote that movie left and right. It's just great. My personal favorite comedy movie of all time. I remember every line from that movie. It's like top of my head. I mean, just the car and the premise of kid going back to the past. He sees his parents in the first movie. He sees his parents as young teenagers. Then he somehow messes it up. And he needs to get back in his time. And he has to figure out a way to get his parents back together because he kind of messed up the timeline where his mother, who's a teenager at the time, falls in love with him. And then he finally finds his way back to his time. But then the Doc, Emmett Brown, comes back from the future, tells him, like, Marty, listen, something's going on. You gotta come with me back to the future. And now we're in the future of 2015, October 23rd. So, now he's here and he's got to figure out what is going on. Apparently, his kids do something stupid and he's got to figure out how to fix that. So he goes to the future and he pretends he's his son because he looks just like his son when he's young. So he goes back there and he has to fix that problem. He does. Something else happens. Apparently, I mean, you know, when he walks there in the future, it's like everything's different in 2015. And that world, 2015, is nothing like today. You got flying cars. Chicago Cubs are in the midst of winning the World Series, but not in real life because they're losing it to the Mets right now. So, let's see. Then there's Jaws 19. That's pretty funny. There's actually a Jaws 19. Not really true, but they got automatic gas stations. They got electronic phones, Skyping everywhere. You know, they got all that right, but can't get everything right. Am I right? So, something happens where his old bully, Biff, comes and he sees, and this is the older Biff, by the way, he sees him and the Doc and the DeLorean, and he gets an idea where if he can get himself rich and powerful, that he would basically rule the world in a way. So Marty decides that he wants to, you know, make a little money if he wants. So he gets this book of all the sports from 1950 all the way to the new millennium. So he knows all the answers, basically. And by the way, this is a spoiler review if you've never seen Back to the Future, but if you have, so bear with me. And, you know, he does that. He gets the book. He goes back to the past to give it to himself when he's young. So that way he can get all the right answers of oh, that team is going to win that game by that much. And, you know, it's a good movie. There are moments where I'm like, they don't need to do this and this and that. I mean, they didn't really need to go back to the past again for him just to skip back to the present where he was, and it just messes up the timeline again. Because every time they keep going using the DeLorean, they go back in time or back to the future, something happens, and then they gotta go back again and fix it. It's one of those paradoxes, you know. You have to realize that time travel is one of those things they don't mess with, even in any movie, no matter what. Even if they invented it today, in the real world, time travel won't work. Because you fix something, makes it all happy, but then again, you go back to the future and it's going to look like hell. So, you know, time travel, I mean, for the second movie, it's great because it just works. Like I said, there are minor flaws here and there, but I still personally like it. A lot of people adore it, but let me know what you think. Do you like Back to the Future 2? Have you even seen the first one? Let me know. And of course, stay true to the Back to the Future day. Continue it, and let's see what happens with the rest of the future. Thank you, and have a good day. And I will also bring you my review for Back to the Future Part 3. Maybe tomorrow, maybe sometime next week, but I'll let you know. Today was Back to the Future 2. I'll eventually do Back to the Future 1, a better review. But, yeah. So, thank you very much, and have a good day.